Can ChatGPT, the AI taking the world by storm, complete a hardcore Nuzlocke? Everybody's worried about ChatGPT taking this job, that job, programmers, editors, but I'm worried about if ChatGPT will be taking YouTubers' jobs. What will Pokemon challenges do? What will AlphaRad do if ChatGPT can just do their Nuzlockes? In this challenge, ChatGPT will be doing a hardcore Nuzlocke. Now this challenge would take forever if ChatGPT handled the entire game. So really, I just want it to handle the important bits. Selecting the teams to use for major fights, choosing every action we use in those fights. Without really doing much research on how to interact with ChatGPT, I start off with my first battle template. ChatGPT takes a long time to say, so I'm just gonna be calling him Chad from now on. Chad tends to be fairly political when it comes to making decisions, so the prompt's primary goal is to make sure that ChatGPT explicitly chooses a single action at all times. That way, when I'm putting an action in the game, there's no misinterpreting what ChatGPT wants. In the template, I instruct ChatGPT to act as a Pokemon trainer and to attempt to win a battle based on the data I provide. I tell it its team, then we'll enter the main battle loop where I tell it the state of the battle, including my Pokemon species, its current HP percentage, all of its moves, as well as the enemy and their HP percentage. From there, it should choose to either switch to another Pokemon in our party or select to use one of our moves. And just like that, it's time for our first battle. Well, not after some advice from Professor Oak. Oak, we have an AI. We don't care about what you say. Our AI, I don't even need to read this because I'm not making ChatGPT responds to the prompts well, explicitly stating which move to use. However, it gets a little unlucky, and honestly, I probably would have lost this battle as well. We get crit, and it's just all over from there. Since this was pretty much just luck and had nothing to do with ChatGPT, I try again, and we pretty easily win the fight. Okay, so we're retrying this fight. I think we got a little unlucky with that critical hit. I think that this AI can handle this battle. Okay, so we kind of reset our state. So we got to give them our team information again, which is of course the same thing. Also, by the way, it takes forever to input all of these prompts. This footage is sped up 400%, and this fight still took over a minute, when in reality, all you really have to do here is mash the A button. Okay, note to self, even at 400%, the fight's still too slow. Let's try 800%. Here, it looks like ChatGPT doesn't really know what's going on. Oh my goodness. ChatGPT has perhaps won the first rival fight. Huh? It's lethal! Come on, man, it's lethal! Just hit it! Oh, Growl. This is such a big throw, man. Okay, this is your last chance. Come on. Let's go! So barely, and I mean barely, are we able to beat our rival and move on with the rest of the challenge. Before that, we have to play optimally and get all the encounters we can. During this time, we create a new ChatGPT instance to name the Pokemon. We get Gale, the Pidgey, Squeak, the Rattata. Squeak! Oh my goodness, ChatGPT popping off with the nicknames. Fury, the Mankey, and Stinger, the Kakuna. Stinger, badass. ChatGPT definitely errs on the side of edgy names. Remember, Chad's getting these nicknames based off of the data it finds on the internet. So it's not Chad's fault these names are so edgy, it's yours. After all of our encounters, it's time to fight Yon, our rival. Okay, here we are, ready for the first rival fight. This is our team. Now we gotta tell our battling AI, our team. Okay, sweet, it totally understands, that's pretty cool. So we're gonna tell them our team consists of this. Okay, so we got, for nothing really here is interesting, it's all kind of like, we don't choose any moves. Our first Pokemon is, what? Huh? No, I'm the one who tells you what to do. You're a little confused there, huh? ChatGPT plays this fight pretty normally. Bulbasaur just uses a sequence of attacking moves and eventually is able to take out the Pidgey. However, during this fight, I noticed a weakness in our current implementation. ChatGPT won't know about accuracy drops, attack raises, anything like that, any stat changes that happen in battle. Also even being paralyzed or asleep. We'll see how far we can get with this, but likely we'll have to make some tweaks in the future. Surprisingly, ChatGPT switches out Bulbasaur when our rival switches in their Charmander. This is huge, as an Ember probably could have taken out Bulbasaur, or at the very least, it's playing around its crit ranges. ChatGPT makes good choices with Rattata, and is able to take out the Charmander without any losses. That fight took over 10 turns, and if I'm going to be typing in the state manually for every run, this video is going to take me a year to put out. I need an automated way to generate the state, and I have to learn a new scripting language, Lua, to interface with the game's memory. Memory is basically just a really big list of numbers, where each number in this list is some important value in the game. For example, the species of a Pokemon, the ID of a move, the amount of power a move has, where the trainer is on the overworld. You get the idea. Some things are easy and already documented, but some things take a long time poking around to figure out. If this is something you're more interested in, leave a comment down below and I can make a video about that process. Either way, that's enough nerdy programming stuff for this video. Time to answer the question we all care about. Can ChatGPT beat a Brock with the Bulbasaur? Okay, so small update. We're going to tell ChatGPT all of our Pokemon. So once ChatGPT has all of our Pokemon, we can give it the list of the Pokemon available. And then we are also asking him specifically to tell us what the lead Pokemon is. So I don't just cheat and have it be Bulbasaur. Hopefully it actually tells us. Start the battle with Bulbasaur, perfect. I don't know if that was just because it was our first Pokemon or what, but I'll take it. Bulbasaur really doesn't have a way of losing this fight. Click Vine Whip, you win. And ChatGPT does click Vine Whip. Tell him the state. Vine Whip uses Vine Whip, holy crow. What in the heck? Type advantage is OP. That's a one hit. That's a one hit, everybody. One thing that did happen in this fight is that there was a period where ChatGPT got lost. I was worried this might be a DQ by Fugue State. However, we were quickly able to get Chad back on course and merged with the badge. It's important to remember history only remembers winners and losers, and that the only thing that matters is winning the fight, not the journey to get there. Next up is Cerulean City and our third rival fight. On the way, we capture a couple new Pokemon, so cue the capturing montage. Talon the Spearow, Echo the Zubat, and Scyther the Ekans. For this third rival fight, we'll have to add a new capability to ChatGPT. From our entire team, it'll have to choose just 6 Pokemon to bring to the battle. Okay, before the rival fight, we have to ask ChatGPT to pick our team of Pokemon. So we've made a slight change in our prompt again, where we will be telling them all of the Pokemon available. We're going to be asking them to select 6 and say which Pokemon they want up front. So hopefully this just kind of works off the bat. Choose the following 6 Pokemon. ChatGPT does pretty well in this fight. It finishes off the Pidgeotto mirror match with Quick Attack, switches to Ivysaur to protect Pidgeotto, and is consistently using stab moves. It does get confused at some point, thinking that the Charmander that its opponent has is controlled by itself. This does get me worried that the longer fights go, the hazier its memory gets of the original messages, and the more lost it can get in the current battle. However, it recovers well and avoids type disadvantage by switching to Rattata, and easily beats the Charmander and Abra, as the Abra doesn't have any moves, and it's pretty stupid that the rival has it in the first place. So far, ChatGPT has been battling pretty solidly. It hasn't been battling nearly as good as an experienced human player, but it's also been covering its basics really well. It's been switching out when it has type disadvantage, and tends to use stab moves more than not. I'm really starting to think this version can go all the way, but to be honest, the first real threat to the run is Misty. For Staryu, simple enough, but Starmie is where the real problem is. With its base 115 speed, it outspeeds everything on my team and fires off devastating stab water pulses with base 100 special attack. Did I mention those water pulses have a 20% chance at confusing a Pokemon? And ChatGPT won't even know a Pokemon's confused? This could be the killer of the run, or it could be what I need to really start believing. We do get one more encounter before Misty, north of Cerulean, and to our luck it's Fume the Oddish. To try and give Chad a fighting chance, I upgrade the prompt yet again so I can inform ChatGPT of who the enemy trainer is. Hopefully, it'll know that Misty is a water-type trainer, and make sure to use Ivysaur and Gloom on the team. Following 6 Pokemon, Pidgeotto, out first, Beedrill, Mankey. Oh no, this is just Ivysaur and Ekans. Ooh, I don't like not starting with Ivysaur, that's just silly, and I don't like not bringing Oddish. Those are just no-brainers if you're a person. Or not. Who am I to argue with an all-knowing AI? We enter the fight with Pidgeotto at our lead. Pidgeotto is able to just straight up 1v1 the Staryu. However, now I'm worried about the real deal Starmie. But when Starmie is switched in, it really confuses ChatGPT. I'm guessing it's because at its core, ChatGPT is trying to figure out what all these characters in the sentence mean, and Staryu and Starmie are spelled very similarly. However, we are able to easily course correct, and ChatGPT has a switch in Beedrill. Shock, horror, dismay, shame. These are the emotions I feel. I switched to the wrong Pokemon. Somehow in the easiest game of all time, I had a misinput. Unsure what to really do, I decided to restart the fight from the beginning, including team selection. That also will teach me to always save state right before the fights. That sucks, but we'll be back soon. My last save was a while ago, so I had to give every Pokemon I owned rare candies for 5 minutes again. I think it's important to make sure every Pokemon's at the level cap so ChatGPT can most accurately choose which Pokemon to bring. For the second fight, Chad picks a pretty similar team, no big surprises, and is still leading with Pidgeotto, so I don't feel too bad. Pidgeotto, so this is the same team, I think, and it wants Pidgeotto out front, so I think it's making the same exact decision. ChatGPT actually plays a little bit better this time, taking one less attack from Staryu on the Pidgeotto, because it finished off the Staryu using a quick attack. This is actually a pretty good battle state. If you could cleanly switch in Ivysaur here, you'd have a pretty good shot at winning the battle. If it was me, I'd probably go for damage with the Pidgeotto, going for a Gust and a quick attack, before sacking Pidgeotto, switching to Ivysaur, and hoping to get the KO with a single Vine Whip. While this play isn't really too complicated, it does require some knowledge of the Nuzlocke as a whole, that sacking a Pokemon here is okay to make sure that our Ivysaur makes it out cleanly, and that we have a Fearow already and will likely get other Pokemon that can fulfill the same role as a Pidgeotto. However, it's not my run, it's Chad's run. Let's see what the AI does. It notices Pidgeotto's weak and switches out to Ivysaur, with a little bit of personality this time, interestingly enough. Nice, nice. But the thing is, switching into the Starmie, I mean, this is the point where, like, if I was Nuzlocking... Oh, never mind, that did, like, nothing. Oh, not the confusion. See, this is my worry. ChatGPT doesn't know. It doesn't know. Last time, or like we haven't had to deal with a situation like this where we're confused, and the result of the turn is not going to be what ChatGPT wants if we get confused. Luckily, this Vine Whip should be pretty good for us. Decent damage. Hit, 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 hit. No, 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 no. This is where it can all go wrong against the Starmie. ChatGPT does hit its second Vine Whip, but it doesn't know that Misty's about to use a potion, and it switches out its Ivysaur for Mankey. From here, honestly, the fight is very hard. I don't think there's really any Mons that can survive a couple of hits from the Starmie, and ChatGPT uses Low Kick to top it off. Low Kick does nothing. It uses Low Kick again, and Mankey dies to a Water Pulse. The first death of our Nuzlocke run. Though sad, I do think it's optimal for Mankey to die here, as switching any other Mon in will likely just get that Mon 2-shot and get off 0 damage, as opposed to switching in a Mon off of Mankey's death and at least getting in 1 hit. Chad chooses to descend in Beedrill, and misses a Fury Attack. Fury Attack is definitely the wrong move here. Twin Needle is 50 base power, 100% accurate, stab, super effective, and can poison. This is an absolute throw, and was probably ChatGPT's last chance at winning this battle. Unfortunately, we'll never really know if Chad would have been able to claw its way back into this fight, as after this turn, it got lost and was completely unable to recenter itself. I tried for a bit, giving its initial state again, trying to really help figure out what's going on, but it's completely unable to recenter itself, and it is declared unable to battle. And that is it. That's the first run out of the way. GG's. Nice try, ChatGPT. It's pretty sad that this is the way the first run ended, as I was really hoping Chad would lose on the battle instead of in its own mind. So unfortunately, the prompts that I created and ChatGPT weren't able to emerge victorious in this first Nuzlocke attempt. However, I'm not disheartened. If anything, ChatGPT did way better than I was expecting for my first attempt, and I'm excited to try again with enhanced prompt. I'll focus on trying to update the prompt to make sure that as the battle goes on longer, ChatGPT doesn't get lost. It'll take some research to figure out how to do that, but hopefully once we enhance the prompts, we can PB and make it past Misty.